Good morning. Welcome to Facebook Live, everybody. Come on in, come and join us. I'll just give you a couple of moments to get an idea of where we are with this. This is a Facebook Live. We're coming from Maggies in Manchester. As you can probably tell, if you've been watching the programme today, you'll have seen some of the amazing stories that Naga's been bringing us from here at Maggies all morning. We've had, it's just been amazing. We've been shining a light on cancer all week here on Breakfast, and this was our grand finale. We thought we'd come to somewhere that's supporting people, not just going through treatment at the moment, but the families of them, and also after people have been through a cancer treatment, they can come here to Maggie's and be supported, just have a space to talk, to relax, and really get a chance to take in what they've gone through. And of course, it's a very positive place as well. Now, we're outside at the moment. I don't know whether you want to just have a look around. It is, it's a typical Manchester November day out here. So I think the best thing to do, and I just wanted to show you quite how wet and cold it was, because the contrast when you come inside Maggie's is amazing. Come on in, and we'll just walk in. Everyone's leaving because we've just done all of our broadcasting this morning from here. So everyone's getting wrapped up. Everyone's going to get their taxis, going to get on with their days at work. But I think the best person to talk to would be Sinead over here, who, of course, is in high demand because she's the centrehead. This is your baby, Sinead Collins. Thank you for joining us on this. I just wanted to give everyone a chance to have a proper look around here, because when we've been doing our bits with Naga, you see a little bit in 1 minute, and then we'll go and do the weather, or we'll go and do the business news or something like that, and then we'll come back and see something different. So I think this is an opportunity to really show Maggie's off. Now, for those who have heard the name all morning, but are maybe not quite sure exactly what you do here. What is Maggie's? Give me the pitch.
Well, Maggie's, we're a cancer support centre, and we this is our 19th year, and this charity was started by Maggie Keswick-Jenks and her husband Charles, and their nurse at the time was Laura Lee, who is our chief executive and recently opened this as the 19th Maggie Centre as we go on into our 20th year. So we're a cancer support charity for people who are having treatment or have had treatment, or their loved one is having treatment or has had treatment, so we can provide emotional support, so away from the clinical space but close enough for it to be able to get to, but a very different environment, staffed by professionals, but here to support you emotionally for however long you need us.
Because I was going to say, I've mentioned obviously we're in Manchester, but we're actually next to the Christie, aren't we? We're
yes.
Pretty much on their grounds. They're just round the back.
We are on their
so
grounds.
Are you part of the hospital? Is this a hospital space, or is it very separate?
We're on Christie land. This is a partnership that the discussions began 4 or 5 years ago about how Christie wanted to reach out to be able to give more support to people. Very, very aware that the clinical expertise is over the road at the Christie Hospital, but there isn't always the time to talk to people and give them an opportunity after treatment to revisit what they may have been through. So Maggie centres open in the grounds of hospitals that are delivering cancer treatment. So we're on their land. It's a partnership.
Now, the reason I ask is because I'll just let Dan have a little look around this place while we talk, because this does not look like a hospital. This looks like a very, very expensive Scandinavian home, doesn't it? I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. Tell me about why it looks how it does.
Well, it looks as it does. We know what we know about how buildings make people feel better. Charles Jenks wrote a beautiful piece called Buildings of Hope, and it explains to us how buildings can help. And Foster and Partners, Norman Foster, who is a Mancunian by birth, have designed this building for us and have built into it all the things that we know help people feel better. And it works.
So let's have a little look.
Sure.
Should we go this way first, and then we'll go down and meet the crowds a little further round? Hey, look, it's Breakfast Jane McCubbin. He's just doing a little bit of...
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jane. So let's just start up here and in some of these sort of sitting room areas. Is that what's the idea here?
Well, the idea is that this place feels welcoming and homely, but it also, as you can see, it feels very opulent. People feel invested in. They feel that they've got somewhere comfortable to sit, somewhere that's nice, somewhere that's warm and cosy. And people say to us, I can't believe that it feels like this. I can't believe that people think we deserve all this. And then actually what you'll notice is, and what somebody who's a little bit poorly will notice is, that this is quite a wide sofa and will want to lie down if they would like to. They know that they're allowed to, because there's space for that here. And so we hold workshops here as well. We can do all sorts of multifunctional spaces, really.
So they can just come in and have a lie down and
come here
relax.
all the time to rest, especially during the summer when it was warm at the Christie. People who were well enough to come over, or their families wheeled them over, they came and had a rest here. And sometimes people who are outpatients come and rest while they're waiting for their treatments to start.
Great place to be. Now, are we okay to come in here? Are we all right to? Should we just lurk in the doorway?
Let's lurk in the doorway.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are rooms like this all the way down the side of the building here.
All the way down. So you've got the central spine of the building, so that when you walk into the Maggie Centre, you are able to see the kitchen table. So that people who come in on their own, who may feel a bit nervous about approaching somewhere new, the first thing they'll realise is that there isn't a receptionist, there isn't a reception area. There is a pause space to just look around and notice the kitchen. One of us will always approach very, very quickly and get somebody a cup of tea and sit them down at Maggie's kitchen table.
Let's go and see Maggie's kitchen table, because we've got some great, got the rooms all the way along here, different spaces, different sizes. Library with lots of books. Just maybe an obvious question, but are they all books on cancer? Are they all?
I mean, we do have a large display of books that relate to having a cancer diagnosis and relate to finding ways to support yourself or get information. And these books are all reviewed by our Maggie's online centre head, who goes through them all for us, so that we, as centre heads around the country, are able to choose things that we think might be more suitable for our visitors. And also we have a range of second-hand novels that people donate all the time. So so if people have got time to pass in hospital or at appointments, they can just borrow our books.
Excellent. Well, let's go and see that kitchen table, because I know that is the heart of a home, and it's the heart of Maggie's. That's for sure. Let's and there's still quite a few people hanging around, aren't there?
Yes. Well, these are centre visitors who are in our choir or in our yoga this morning. So obviously I invited them to stay for breakfast.
So you mentioned the choir there, and we got a bit of a blast on breakfast earlier. How did that all come about?
Well, the Christie have had a choir for a long time called the Rhythm of Life Choir, and patients joined in the choir and raised their voices and find their voices again. And when Maggie's partnership with the Christie came together, one of the things that seemed very natural, because Maggie's also have choirs, was to join together and create one large choir, which is what we're doing.
They were in great voice earlier on. We'll wander past. Go on, I'll follow you. You lead on. This is your centre. And it's so much food and so much. I mean, this is obviously, you've had a lot of people broadcasting from here earlier today, but there's always something going on, isn't there, around the table?
Always something going on, and particularly today when people have got up so early to come in, we wanted them to have breakfast. But we always provide a snack or a biscuit or some fruit for people, and we have volunteers who love to bake. So we have bakers who bring things in, who live in the local area, who said, I've made you a lemon drizzle cake, or I've made you this or that, or our visitors bake here, or we make soup here from our vegetable garden.
And you're so good at this, aren't you? Just give me the next little step every time we go along. So from here, where you drew us into last time, let's go and see the vegetable garden. More space, so these are just more places for people to come and eat and spend some time together. Just to be together,
and people help themselves to what they need. They don't need to be looked after. They want to get on with their lives. So we show them where things are, we invite them to help themselves, and then they do. And we're here, we're on hand as a professional team to support people.
I know it has been absolutely tipping it down, so we won't get the full grounds view, but they are beautifully sculpted grounds, aren't they? You're not just straight onto the car park here, are you?
No, absolutely not at all. Maggie Keswick-Jenks was herself a garden designer, and so we always have a beautiful garden, and this one was designed by Dan Pearson and Studios, so this is a very, very beautiful, exceptional urban garden.
And I don't know, can we go out? Can the doors open? Come on, let's do the entire tour. And it's all undercover, which is brilliant because it is lashing it down.
Well, this is what we wanted for people in Manchester. We all joke about the rain, but we wanted the inside out and bring the outside in. So rain does not stop play here at Maggie's Manchester. We can carry on.
Excellent. Can we go all the way in? Let's finish up in the greenhouse, because somewhere that is so full of life, even in these sort of conditions. And again, something that a lot of people, I guess, don't have. They're not maybe able to go out in their garden. It's something that people really enjoy, isn't it?
It is, and that's something that we wanted for people. And people who may have downsized their home because of illness or gone into a flat, who are still keen gardeners, can come here and help us. And people do all the time, and they leave things for each other on the table. And you'll see a little note and say, "Bill, here's those seeds," or whatever. And people are doing that, and they're becoming part of our community here. It's very nice to see people socialise and share ideas.
It's been fantastic getting a look behind the scenes here. For those people who aren't in the Manchester area in the northwest, you said there are 19 of these centres. So do you need to sign up online or anything like that? What do you do? How do you get in touch with your local Maggies?
Well, you can have a look at maggiescentres.org. If you haven't got a centre very close to you, then you can join Maggie Centres online. There is a centre head there called Robin, cancer support specialist, that's Sue, benefits advisor. Everything is exactly the same as it is in a real centre at our virtual centre, and you can get support there if you live far away from a real one.
Sinead, thank you so much for letting us into Maggie's today and helping us shine a light on cancer. That brings this Facebook Live to an end. It'll appear on the Facebook page in a few minutes. We've been Breakfast. We've been shining a light on cancer. We'll see you again soon.